Welcome back. I'm trying something new today, trying to have some music in the background. I don't know how loud it will sound on the video, but here we go. Also, instead of doing the puzzles, which I got frustrated with earlier, I'm going to try my Puzzle Rush Survival, which does not have a time limit, but you do have only 3 failures and then you're done. So you try to get as many puzzles as you can without failing up to 3. Here I have a check, which I think is mate. I think that's checkmate. Okay. And then it immediately goes to the next puzzle. You don't get to figure out why you got it wrong. I'm guessing that a lot of them are going to be, especially at the beginning, are going to be simple, relatively simple checkmates. I think here the bishop has to block, and then what? And then we come in with this. That's my guess. Oh, that was it. Okay. Third puzzle. See, the idea for the music is when I quit talking, then there's no dead air. Okay. Here, do not have a check here because of the knight. However, once the knight captures, I have a follow-up check, but then it looks like at that point the king simply gets out. But then once that happens, I would take the other rook. That might be it. We're about to find out. Okay, follow-up check, and then I get the rook. Okay. As I said, these usually start out pretty easy. Here, it looks like if I capture the bishop, the knight will capture the bishop, and then I will capture the knight. So I will basically be getting 2 pieces for 1. I don't see a downside to that or a trap. Also, ending with my queen there threatens this square. If black tries a check, that's relatively easily blocked with the pieces I have remaining. Okay. As I said, relatively simple, basic puzzle solving. Now here I'm noticing this bishop trapping the king in the corner. Also noticing a rook and queen battery aimed at this square. So I believe this check will drive the king into the corner, and then the follow-up check will be captured by the queen, followed by the rook. So that's going to be what I attempt here. Check. Queen captures, rook captures, should be checkmate. Okay, got 5 in a row. Excellent. Here I have a simple back rank checkmate. I simply have more pieces aimed at that square than the defender has guarding it. So, pardon me. Lots of power pieces aimed at my king. Extremely interesting that black chose to move this rook here where it's unguarded, but obviously if I capture that, then my queen is unguarded. Further, black's queen is unguarded. So I could capture black's queen, but in the interests of getting this puzzle right, I believe there's a check that they can only block once with the rook. I'll capture, they'll block once with the queen, then I'll capture, and that'll be checkmate. Okay. Here, let's see. I do have a check, and it looks like white's only response would be to be able to block, which I will capture, and then it'll be checkmate. Okay. I don't know if you like this music. If you don't, tell me in the comments. It sounded kind of bouncy when I selected it. It is royalty-free music, but if it's too bouncy or too distracting, feel free to let me know. Now here, we do not have enough power pieces aimed here because black has all kinds of defenders on that square. The bishop blocks this, I mean the pawn blocks this bishop, so I can't get there to defend that way. I have a hanging knight. The knight's just sitting there. But I think if I do that, wouldn't black then, sorry, black just come take trade rooks with me? Like, that's what I'm thinking. The black would just come down and trade rooks and then have follow-up checks that I couldn't do anything about. I don't know. That's what it looks like. I'm going to try it. Oh, okay. Simpler than I thought. That was it. Here, obviously, I can capture this. I also, however, better move, can say check, which they can only block once before I capture. So that is... Oh, block twice. Forgot about the other rook. There we go. Okay. Looks very similar here. Let's check and see. Now, this is going to be different. And the reason this is different is because white has two rooks. So if I said check here, and white blocks with the rook, I could capture it. They can capture with the second rook, and then I have yet another rook. So I believe that's going to be it. Well, there's the queen first. Then there's that, and then there's this. Okay, 11. Excuse me. I do have a check here. However, I believe this is a stronger move because it pins the queen to the king. I think that forces the queen to capture the rook, in which case I would capture it and then herd my passed pawns down. So I believe... Oh, it's just going to move. I don't think I should do a follow-up check. I think I should capture the queen. Okay. Here. This bishop and knight, bishop and queen battery does not look good because of this rook, which I do not have a good follow-up to. However, the queen and rook battery looks good. Oh, wow, no it doesn't, because of this bishop. Okay, so that's two squares on the back. Oh, that's a horrible arrow. Two squares on the back rank where I could say check, but that white has guarded. Okay, the music is looping. Good. It's only like a 2.5 minute song. Okay, so neither one of those is good. That one loses my queen to the rook. Then I would capture the rook. And the king could capture my bishop. But then I'm stuck because... Wait, am I stuck? Am I stuck? I'm thinking... Oh, that might be it. No, because the king wouldn't have to capture the bishop. That's the problem. Darn it. What about this jack? That is still guarded by the rook. This one is more complex than some of them. Am I missing something like a piece capture? Because I'm down on material. I'm down one bishop. And very close to being checkmated. This is why it's absolutely important that I find a series of ongoing checks. This would not result in that, because once the rook captures, this is not check. White can just let that bishop sit there and do checkmate right here, and the game is over. So I know that's not it. Can I mark that square in orange or something? Okay. That's not it. And I believe the only other two checks I have are this one, which is easily refuted. And this one, which is not easily refuted, but, I mean, bishop captures or rook, either one. Wait, I think I've got it. Queen here. If bishop captures, then I have checkmate right beside it. If rook captures, then I come with my second rook, and when the bishop captures, I have checkmate right beside it. Okay, I just had to count all the things, because the bishop is going to not be able to do anything once, right here, once I do this. Okay, that one took a little while. I do have a check here, which black can temporarily block, but I have a gigantic battery that would protect this. However, I just realized if I say check there, the queen would just capture me. That seems like a really bad idea. Okay, what about this check? That seems like a much better. No, I can't move this queen. Okay, what about check to remove this pin? Right? If black blocks, I take their queen. So obviously they would take my queen, but that removes this pin. And then that's checkmate. Okay. Ooh, I have a not passed pawn, and white has a not passed pawn. The only way for either one of us to win this is to capture the opponent's remaining pawn. It looks like I can get there faster if I come here. White would go... No, well, no, they can't go there. Let's see. Black moves first, so black would go here. Then that would leave their only move, possible move there. Then I'm here, right? Oh, well, they didn't go there, so... Wait, is this one of those where I get behind there and then they do something and I'm stalemated? Pretty sure I have to capture the pawn. Okay. I actually have been in very similar situations to those in many of my games. Now what I have here is a check. This time, if white blocks with the protected rook, I can capture the rook with the bishop, which seems awesome. I'll still have my queen. And then they surely wouldn't come again because I would just take it and that would be checkmate. Okay. Yeah, just before I do it, I think pretty sure that would be a bad idea because then the rook would capture. Even if I did get the second rook, then white still outnumbers me with the queen. So I think I've got to just take that with the bishop. Okay. That seems... the king's creating escape square because it knows that once this bishop moves, they will be in check. However, I want this bishop to move with check to a place that will kill this queen, and I'm going to do that right here, I believe. Okay, then I take the queen. Woohoo! 16, and I haven't missed one yet? This is awesome. I have a check there, but then doesn't the king just do some kind of going around and around? But then I could follow here, skewering the queen. Surely that's it. Okay. I don't think last time I tried Puzzle Survival, I don't think I made 17 in a row without missing. Okay, their queen is guarded, so doing that would just be a queen trade, leaving nothing else on the board. I do see that taking would threaten this rook, but again, they would just capture back, would they not? Oh, but then capture, bishop to here, threatening either a free knight or the rook behind it. Okay, so winning extra material was the answer on that one. Here, let's see, this knight is guarded. This rook is not guarded, but it is pinned. Let's see. I have a check, interestingly enough. This diagonal. The knight is guarded by this pawn. That would leave the king only a couple of... Let's see. Not the white squares, those are guarded by the knight. Only 3 choices to get out of check. The 2 on the horizontal, I would follow with this check, threatening the rook. If it went to the back rank, I believe then I could go here and it would be check, also threatening the rook. Okay, it went there. So here, I believe that the answer is to capture this pawn, but I'm not really threatening the rook. What I have to do is absolutely keep this king in check, due to the fact that I'm in grave danger here as soon as I stop moving. Okay, so when I say check as my follow-up, the king... Again, this square would be guarded by the knight, so they would have this choice, or this choice. And 2 of those I could follow up right here, but if it moves back there, what if the king moves back there? I say check, and the king goes there. Do I have a safe follow-up check? Oh, well then I would capture the rook as a follow-up check, I believe. Okay, it moved forward, which gives me this check, leaving only 1 escape square. Okay, oh, that was it. Okay. Alright. This may end up being a fairly long video, but hey, look at me, 19 in a row. I have this check here, which looks safe, guarded by the knight, leaving only 1 escape square, and then I have a follow-up check. Even though this looks incredibly dangerous, I don't think I'm actually under a immediate threat. Okay, I have a follow-up check here, forcing that, and then checkmate. Okay. Well, that's check. I have a rook here. This check isn't really forcing. The king could hide behind in the corner, or it could come out. But I don't see anything else. I can't currently go after white's pieces here. I believe that's going to have to be my first move, although I don't know what the second one is. The second one is possibly here as a follow-up check, which forces the king here, and then I have this, maybe? Oh. Well, that just gives me a rook. Okay, now I have this follow-up check. Okay. 21. Almost wondering... Let's see. This bishop isn't really hanging, despite the queen's attack. This knight, however, is hanging. What if I got rid of this knight? That would be a trade and leave this, instead of just losing a piece, I would trade a piece. And it would come with check, so it would force either a block or a capture or a king move. Then once that knight's out of the way, then what do I have? Is that... there's got to be a follow-up. There's always a... Oh, well then I would have this threatening the queen. Should I do that first? No, I should do this first. Ow, it was a failure. And again, in Puzzle Survival, you don't get a chance to go back and see what you missed, so... check. Okay. This is going to be a discovered check once I move this piece to protect the knight. And then the knight guards those two squares, and the bishop will guard these, so I think this will be checkmate. Oh no, the bishop guards, but obviously checkmate. Okay. We are running out of pieces. I cannot move my king because of the pawn and the king. I'm about to lose this pawn. I am about to promote, but the rook is standing guard. What happens? Let's see. That gets my rook killed. This is not looking good. I mean, this is safe enough, but then what happens? Right? Then the king just takes that pawn. But then I could take this pawn and say check. They don't have too many other moves, or I mean, they can take this pawn at any time. Should I promote that one to get it? I don't know. Yeah, this one I have a feeling I'm going to fail it too, so let's go ahead and fail it. Okay. I have no idea what that one was about. We have a check, but that is guarded. I can threaten checkmate with this because the bishop behind the queen threatens checkmate right there. That would leave black a check, but that's quickly refuted. So I think rather than just a plop, plop, I think threatening checkmate is a stronger move than that. Okay. Bishop is forced to block. Should I capture this way first? Then this, this. That all looks very serious. Can't check here because they would just capture me. I believe... Okay. Okay. 23. I think this is getting pretty close to my all-time record, although it doesn't show over here what my all-time record is. That looks bad. But not devastating, because I would come back, and then they would come back, and we would just repeat checks. So, okay, not as bad as I originally thought. I have a question. What if I go here and say check? That forces them to capture, and then I would go here, and that would be checkmate, correct? Oh, one more. Always forget about that extra piece that slides into block. Boop, boop. Nope, not looking good because the queen. If I come back, they come back, and I am way down. There is this, which threatens the rook, but not much else. Sacrifice would, I don't think, get me anywhere. What else is there? There is... One thing this would get me, if I move this here, threatening the rook, is that I can then bring in another piece. Oh no, but then the bishop would be in the way. I'm probably going to fail this one too, and I'm going to end on 24. I think I'm just going to take the knight. Yeah, that was it. Oh, okay, it was my best ever. So thank you everyone who followed along all the way through the 25 minutes of this Puzzle Rush survival episode. On those ones that I missed, if you happen to notice something, feel free to let me know. I believe here it is possible to go back and see what I did, which I'm not going to waste your time with. Thank you for watching.